and welcome to another week of Soulfully Guided. Thank you to our producers. Let's say they're great jokes, but they make me laugh every week coming on. So I wanted to say hello. I'm feeling and looking a bit more human this week than last week, which was a courageous week, saying whatever was without any thinking or preparation. So I want to really show off my lips today and the intense lipstick I'm wearing, which is for a purpose. So if I just pucker up there and show off my lips. And the reason is I've got a badge too. So I've been really behind in keeping up this month, and I'm doing a Liptember. So my badge says to ask me about my lips for Liptember. Now, last week we did touch on mental health, what I call a mental health check-in day, which is your day to basically connect with yourself, your mental well-being, or whatever you're needing from yourself at that moment. For me, it was reading a book and laying down and having a pajama day, and we asked what self-care and mental health looked like for you. So I really wanted, before we go into a caller, so we are going to go into a caller today. If you're wanting a reading, please shout out to the radio and TV show, A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, and our producer will have a caller on live for us on air. Now, before we get into that caller, I really wanted to give a shout out to Liptember and how important it is. So if you haven't heard about Liptember or you don't know what it's about, head over to their website, which is liptember.com.au. So that's liptember.com.au. Now, why I'm talking about them is because it is their month of awareness for women's mental health. Now, they raise funds that go to incredible places and organisations that support and maintain and promote healthy mental health and support when our mental health is challenged. So the reason why it is for women, not discouraging or devaluing the value of men's mental health, but in a lot of strategies and coping strategies and prevention methods and information that's out there, Liptember found that it was not gender specific. And as you can understand, the differences between what we experience as a woman, whether it be stuff like menstruation or pregnancy and things like that, menopause or any other challenges that you face, some things are not felt by our male counterparts. So Liptember is something that is quite gender specific, is gender specific for women, that recognises our mental health and what we specifically need and works for us as women. So I've got Debbie. I didn't see where you were from. Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Hi.
Hi there, from Vermont in USA. So bear with me for a second, Debbie, while I finish up here, but if I'll be able to provide you a reading in one moment. So if anyone wants to have a Google on what Liptember is, no matter where in the world you are, have a Google of it, search what they do. And if you find, with the cost of living, and it is hard to donate to places these days, but that doesn't mean you can't show your support in other ways. So for us women all over the world, please show some support to Liptember, sharing a post, looking at their social media, or, bringing awareness to it if we can't actually provide some funding or donations to them. So that is about me and my lipstick that I'll be rocking all month for Liptember. Now, Debbie, thank you for calling in.
Hi.
Hi, sorry about that. I'd love to give you a tarot reading. What would you like to ask?
Maybe future and love.
Pardon?
Maybe. Future and love.
Future and love? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I know it's a mini reading and it's we're time sensitive. So I'm going to pull out some cards, just to I guess, how can we do this? Do future and love. But I'd like a few cards to just give a general read on that topic, so it's not just about your future, that we can actually touch on some things that are active right now, so you get some credibility in me as well. Are you okay with that? Okay, so let's get started. So please have whatever. Could I have some of, okay. So some cards are falling out, and we're going to use them. Okay, and some guides for the future. Okay. Okay. So let's look at all this and how do we. Okay, so there's various ways of saying that when we look at love and when we look at a general reading as at today, there are various ways of saying that you actually are physically exhausted and it's quite draining and you feel like you're always chasing your tail, and that spark is slowly sizzling if it hasn't already. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I don't want you to get stuck there, and I believe that we create our future, and which is why I didn't want to just give you a future reading. And what I'd love to see is sometimes the loneliness and the pondering over the past, it might hold you back from seeing other potentials or other opportunities emotionally with friendships, not just in romantic relationships. And this seems to be playing a part, that loneliness sometimes takes over and prevents you from moving forward or finding, noticing other people trying to approach you for friendship or love. Does that relate to you at all?
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like to say is I would love to see you be able to refresh and reset if you're not considering a holiday. I know you're longing and wanting for a little bit more, but I have to be honest, I don't see if you are in a relationship here. Sometimes it is very clear, other times it is not, and sometimes the quality of the reading is just for you. So I would suggest take a holiday if you can on your own, refresh, reset, get that spark back and fall in love with you and figure out what this more is that you're looking for. It's going to take work and, persistence, and sometimes you'll feel like it's, the same thing over again. But when we look at love specifically, we see that you feel like it's always the same thing going over and over again. I think there's an anxiety and worry about it, but also it calls for community. And rather than looking for someone alone in a loving relationship, it's asking, when it comes to anxiety and stress and worrying about relationships and the way we're thinking about them, it's a really good idea to connect with friends and people that understand you as well. We're looking at basically female friends or confidence people that you can trust, because do you find yourself stressing at night and that affects your sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I would suggest when it comes to love, working on yourself, but also finding support to find out what's, to deal with past hurt. I feel like you've been hurt in the past, and even though that is moved on, the even though the experience has moved on, the effects of that experience is still lingering on and still does affect you at times. So not devaluing what you've been through or any pain you're experiencing, but finding ways to be able to move beyond that, because it will affect your potential, if you are in a relationship now, or if you're wanting to be in a relationship, that anxiety and stress about that will continue to unintentionally be, it'll affect your quality of your relationships now because of your mindset. So I want to see you feeling, confident to trust yourself, to love yourself, and to also be loved.
Right.
You'll very rarely, when we ask about the future, you very rarely hear me talking about narcissist. I just don't talk like that. There are 78 cards in the deck, and the statistical probability of getting all these cards, getting these two combination of cards is quite rare. Have you been around a narcissist before?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I talk openly?
I'm sorry, what?
Am I able to talk openly in this reading?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you are at your best, they are at their worst and they're most controlling. When we ask about your future, this seems to be the focus of your future. So there are basically set between two options. You let this consume you and take over you, or you move on and you create your own level of happiness beyond the effects of what that narcissistic behavior has done to you. You are an amazing person and you have an incredible joy and happiness about you, and you've got a lot to be emotionally proud of the person that you are. I feel there's coming in strong manipulation and unhealthy attachment, and I think to be your best self, which you are very capable of being independent and finding love on a healthier basis, I think it's important that you seek some sort of support to help you break down that manipulation and control and those beliefs that were ingrained in you that actually didn't reflect who you really are. And I think that takes time and some support with people who know about this. How do you feel about that?
I feel good about that.
Now, so you feel good about that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for allowing me. Thank you for allowing me to be so honest. I'm really sorry I haven't given you much chance to speak, but that is the end of our show. If you do want to explore that more, myself or other readers are available to you.